Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back to me after a much needed break. Good morning, Timbo. How are you this morning? Oh man. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I have not taken any trades. There should be no news for the day, which is good. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Hey, not look who the Good morning, Applejacks, Amelia, and Diego. How are you guys this morning? Oh, YouTube changed something. Oh, I don't like that. Now do you remember? I think I remember how to do this. All right, hold on. I gotta move some stuff around. How have you guys been? How's the market been? How's trading been? Good morning, Trenches. Not Go Bears. Yeah, why did they change the names like that? I don't like it. Me no likey, me no likey. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I cannot. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I needed a break. So I took one. And it was needed, you guys. Like, I have been miserable. I noticed that my mood was just like up and down for really the last few months, but it's gotten worse like recently. And I realized that part of it is because of my attempt to sleep like a normal person. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. So, what I've decided to do is basically go back to my old sleep schedule in hopes that I feel like myself again. I just am not someone who likes being up during the day. It's just not me. I can't do it. But I think everything will be good now. I think we'll see. We will see. I have not looked at the charts literally since the last time I streamed. Not even a little bit. I was looking at some things trading related just a little, but not much. I'm kind of in the process of converting some data again. I stopped looking at the volume of the swings probably, I don't know, a minute ago. And I think that I have to bring that back. So that is what I plan to do. And I'm probably about halfway done. It's a lot of trades to go through. I'm halfway done. But I think it'll work out long term. So we'll see. Let's see. We will see. Glad I didn't get into that one. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see where things go from here, honestly. But it's probably gonna take me until Sunday to like completely get everything where I want it to be. But yeah, we'll see. Go back to whatever works for you. Yeah, I have to. I literally was so I've honestly been struggling ever since I had that conversation with my dad like 2 months ago. I've been struggling, like real life struggling. And I've been trying to like mask it, but I just could not mask it anymore. So that coupled with my sleep schedule being off. Like I've been on YouTube streaming for 2 years straight, and I still cannot sleep like a normal person. And eventually that sleep deprivation can lead to depression, exhaustion, all of that kind of put together. So I think it was just a multitude of things, just like kind of all hit me at once. And yeah, it wasn't fun, guys. It wasn't fun at all. But I think I'll be okay. I feel a lot better. I feel like myself, and hopefully it stays this way. Y'all keep winning. I'm shocked. Not I'm shocked. I would say go birds, but I hate them right now. Psychosis too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I just found myself getting really tearful all the time. Like last week was probably the most, well, for the last week or so, I was just like the most tearful that I've been in a very long time. And it was very frustrating because I couldn't really identify why, and I still can't really identify why. I think it was just like a cyclical thing mixed with everything else. I don't know. But yeah, it just was not fun. Why is the market moving like this? Has the market been this volatile? I don't really like this at all. All right, so I do my Tradeify account renews on Wednesday. So my main goal is to get some trades in for that particular account. There's been some crazy volatility. Okay, good to know, because this is a little cuckoo. I'm not even caring about the data lag spike because the market is a little volatile. Like when it's happening during volatility, that's fine. But yeah, so I'll just kind of see if we can wait until it calms down a little bit. Sleep is important, very important. And the thing is, like, okay, so I sleep really well on the weekends because I don't have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person, and I cannot sleep at nighttime. Like, no matter what I do, I'm not tired at night. So, I would go to sleep at maybe like 3:30, 4 in the morning, sometimes later than that, a lot of times later than that. Wake up at 8, trade, journal, take like a 2 to 4 hour nap, and it just, like, long term, it's just not good for me. Whereas when I am sleeping during the day, I just sleep better, and I don't know, it just works out for me. So that's just what I'm gonna go back to. Just is lack of sleep for days in a row. Yeah, and mine was just really bad, and I've basically kind of been on this cycle now since last December. But like I said, on the weekends I sleep just fine. So it's kind of like I catch up on the weekends, but you're not really catching up. You're not. Don't feel afraid to ask for help. Yeah, I kind of like, I know my limits. I know, like, when, like, yo, it's getting a little bad. I usually can identify it, mainly because I've been dealing with it for so long. I've been dealing with depression and cyclical depression and anxiety and panic attacks and all that stuff since I was really young, like grade school. Um, of course, it wasn't until adulthood that I've been able to, identify. I usually can identify now when I'm in it. Before, I couldn't identify until I was out of it, which was not good. But all right, I wonder if I was gonna say, I wonder if I should change. See, I don't know what I would need to put. That's not gonna work. I mean, this volatility is crazy. And I don't know news. What is hold on. The time chart's gonna change really quick. I'm changing it to a 1-minute chart. Oh yeah, well, 1-minute candles are like 30 to 50 points. All right. Wonder if I could change my Renko size. The problem is I don't know. I don't know what to put the stop loss at because I don't. Yeah, 50-point candles is a little crazy. So I think what I'm gonna do, let's switch to like a I don't know if I'm willing to risk my TPT account right now. So let's turn off that. And I'm gonna go to I might have to go to a 40 tick chart. Let's see, 40 ticks is 10 points. So the market has to reverse 20 points. Reverse. So I'm looking for 30 points. That might be a little too high. Let's go with a... All right, yeah, I'm going to switch my charts real quick. I'm going to go to a 32 tick chart maybe. What I'm afraid of is going to a 40 and then the market starts slowing down too much. All right, I'm going to switch to a 32. Which means, all right, so 32, I need a 20 is 28. 32 needs to be 40. So I'll have a 40 tick stop loss. 42 tick. Oh, shit. That means I have to redo all of this. Wait a minute. Do I have one? 32. Here's this one. 40 tick stop loss. 34 tick take profit. This is gonna irritate me. I think this is all I need to change. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to... 40, 34. All right, now I gotta change my other chart to 32. Gonna feed the dogs? All right. All right, my charts are gonna freeze one more time. Hopefully, oh, I have to change this chart too. I hate changing Renko sizes in the middle of the session like this, but I don't really think I have a choice. Yeah, I don't think I have a choice. All right, so that worked for you today, restarting. Well, the problem right now is the market is moving so fast that I feel like I just shouldn't be on that size chart, which is actually, it might annoy me long term, but yeah. Hmm. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? All right, yeah, we'll just try this. Especially like I said, this account renews Wednesday anyway, so I need to kind of push it with this account for now. Janelle, how have you been? It's at 333. Hopefully my stop loss is right. I don't know because I did increase it from how I used to trade it. So on a 20 tick chart, I allow price to come like 6 ticks beyond the open of the candle. So hopefully the same thing can work. I'm not sure. Not quite sure. Yeah, hopefully that works. November has been a rough month, worst month so far this year. Ouchie, wow. For your personal trading or your investing or both? Like the long-term investments or both? I just finished watching earlier this morning. I was watching the video from Umar Ashraf, who was saying that September was his worst month trading. He lost like 1.4 million. I think he said the month before he made like 900,000. So he just kind of basically put himself, he took away all of his profit from the previous month plus some. And he was saying that his biggest issue was being too heavy into his bias. Like he just had this strong bias about shorting the market, that he just refused to look for buys, period. And he screwed himself up. It was a pretty insightful video. The one thing that I wish he would have did like he does on his other videos was I wish he would have gone through the trades. Because he said that a lot of the trades that he took, like if he would have followed his traditional rules, he wouldn't have taken the majority of those. So I kind of wish he would have like gone through the trades to say why. Ah, fuck, I missed that trade. Damn it. Damn it. And I would have gotten filled too. Shit. But yeah, it was a pretty insightful video though. True. It's only up by 6K, but I've not taken many trades. Minimal losses. Got you, got you. Investments are suffering due to market correction. Not what up? I have no rent money. She's like, let me make this very clear, very quickly. Let's see. So, Janelle, have you not been taking many trades just because of the market conditions? What has gold really been doing? I've been seeing some streamers talking about gold a little bit, but I have also not really been paying very much attention to a lot of the streamers. I really hate I missed that sale back there. 566. That's a lot of money to be lost. Yeah, 1.5 million is crazy. He lost like 2, and I think it was only in like maybe 5 trading days. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 5 trading days. I could be mistaken, but I know one day he lost like 277. Pretty sure. I'm trying to think of when I saw his calendar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 5 trading days. And I mean, it was like really, really bad trades, but again, just because of what his bias was, he just was so heavy into the bias that he just did not give a damn. He didn't care what the market was showing him. He was going for those shorts, period. Let's see. That was almost what I wanted. But like it was one trade where he basically shorted the bottom, and I mean the market just ran up, and he didn't even put his stop loss behind like the last swing high. He just let it go for many, many points. I think he was trading SPY options if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he was tripping. Damn, we're about to start pushing new highs. Kind of irritated because I had a couple of setups that I missed. Let me put this back on a 5-minute chart. Sorry. Now I'm about to set up a GoFundMe. Diego with the yo hook me up too. I am weak. You hear me? My investment's been held the past few weeks. I haven't even looked at my portfolio in so long. I'm kind of scared too. I'm not gonna lie. Stop watching short in the bottom. I don't know what. Well, Umar was doing it in September though. He just now is coming out with the video for it. But yeah, his was couple months ago. But I had to scalp. I didn't like it though. Yeah, that's definitely, it's against your norm now. Man, this is a crazy run up. I was hoping that me increasing my Renko size would kind of like, I guess maybe minimize the data lag, but yeah, it's not. Hold on, I'm gonna log into my TPT account because I think this renews on like the 8th, so I think I have time. If I was still on a 20 tick chart, it's the 8th. I wouldn't mind trading it, but me going to a 40 tick stop loss is kind of, it's $200 a pop. Which is not that bad. I mean, I'm doing 150 now on my regular size, but yeah, I'm surprised too. And he was talking about how, he wanted to be transparent about it because even, I think he's like 12 years into trading. He's like, he still makes those mistakes. And he was just basically saying that he wishes he would have realized he was basically kind of going on tilt a little bit. But yeah, it was a really, really good video. But like I said, I really wish he would have, maybe the reason why he didn't um like go through and show the trades. So when he makes the videos about like I made such and such amount, in this many days or in one day or whatever, he'll usually go through and break the trade down. And I'm wondering if the reason why he didn't break the trades down in the process of talking about the $1.4 million loss is because he really couldn't break them down because he didn't use his strategy. He didn't use any logic. He said he made a tweet about the fact that he thought the market was going down and everything. Like he was just so heavy into the bias or whatever. So I wonder if that's the reason why he didn't make the video in that way, is just because he didn't use any logic at all. I don't know. I don't know. We're splitting several dividend stocks. Okay, so question, if they're reverse splitting, so even if you weren't part of the split, like let's say you had 100 shares, but that 100 shares was like legit shares. It's not like you got it from a split or anything. They're going to combine those. Is that how that works? Or no? Interesting. I thought we were going to reverse off the VWAP right there. Don't really like the fact that we're pushing new highs, and I got shit to do today. Can't be on the charts too long, but I do want to kind of push it to the limit with this account a little bit. Let's see, because if anything, I would like if I'm going to fail the account, I want to actually fail the account. And since it's a daily loss limit on it, I got to kind of push it today and tomorrow. Oh, but your profit loss will remain the same. Okay. Got you. So they're doing a 10-1. What a push. I'm looking for, damn it. At the top of the opening range. Hopefully we can push through it. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. So I haven't finished converting all this data yet, but I was telling you guys recently that I was thinking, well, not thinking. I know I need to go back to looking at the volume of the swings. However, out of the four, I think I can group two and two. Mainly looking at, so this is what I want to look at. I'm going through my old analysis sheets and I'm using four different color pens to like put a square around what I'm looking at. So basically, I'm mainly looking at, all right, so with this short, for instance, I'm looking at the swing before the pullback and comparing it to the previous swing. So we got 1.1K volume coming down. It was 542 going up. So that means that the sellers have outmuscled the last buyers, basically. And so that for pullbacks, that is the most ideal setup, kind of like here, where we have 1.4 versus 138. So the sellers are out muscling the buyers there. Now this wasn't a setup because the delta is positive for a sell, but that is what I'm primarily trying to focus on. I don't think that, so like here, for instance, you can see even though we got 1.1 coming down, so it's higher than the 542 going up. But if you look at the previous impulse move down, it's less than the 1.9. I don't really think that matters. So essentially, ChatGPT said that when that happens, it means that the sellers are still dominant versus the opposition. So the sellers are dominant versus the opposition, the buyers, right? But they're weaker than the earlier impulse. And it says the trend slash control is still intact, but momentum is fading. So you have to trade with caution. Even though momentum is fading, I feel like as long as the sellers are still outweighing the buyers, it doesn't matter as much. So I'm trying to like group things together like that. Same thing here, right? It looks like momentum is fading. We got 1,000 volume versus 1.4 thousand volume. But if you look at the previous move up, which is 773, the sellers are still outweighing the buyers. Now that particular setup, let me see, 172. 173. So this one was like 2 volume away from what I would want it to be for me to get into the sale there. But yeah, that's primarily what I'm looking to focus on. Even with the divergence, I think it's pretty much the same. So I'm pretty much done with the pullbacks, but I didn't get a chance to finish at least making the cheat sheet for the divergence the way that I want to. So I'm going to try to finish that today. But yeah, that's going to be my primary focus of how I'm looking to trade 281. I don't know why the zigzag detached itself. So yeah, so basically with me using a different color pen on each of the four different swing volumes, I'm able to quickly look at the old analysis sheets and put things together like, all right, well, I know basically black and blue go together and purple and red go together. So I can quickly look and analyze and say, oh, these are majority wins. So this is what I want to look for. Like look for this volume and order flow combination, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm working on finishing right now. And yeah, I think I'll like it long term. We'll see. I have 10 shares of 53. Price is just going to continue to drop and drop and drop. Some shares will have a 10 to 1, others will have a 5 to 1. Why not view a higher time frame to get an overall momentum view of buyers and sellers? I could, like I have a structure chart up here that you guys can't see, just so I can see what the overall market looks like. But the problem is, like, in regards to looking at a higher time frame, most of the time, even if it's showing that momentum is on the higher time frame, if I'm on a lower time frame, especially with me scalping and the way that I have a tight stop loss, it's not really going to affect anything by me knowing what's going on a higher time frame. So it's like I'm just trying to keep things as simple as possible by just looking at one chart pretty much. Because the momentum is basically through volume and then also order flow, because I went back to bid ask as well, which should help out. But by just looking at the volume of the swings can tell me quite a bit. But then when I add on, like, knowing how efficient delta is, knowing where the point of control is and stuff like that, I should be able to see like where the momentum is primarily. There was another way I was looking at things, like right before I took my break, of just looking at volume only, which I still might look at long term. I don't know, we'll see. But there's kind of a way to be able to see how good the momentum is by just looking at the volume of the swings with no order flow. So long term, I might look into that. Basically, it has to do with looking at the volume of the swings compared to the numbers of ticks in the swing. And so let me see if this is a good example, because I didn't even look to see. So yeah, so this is something that I am testing out as well, where I can get rid of order flow so I don't have to worry about data lag like that. So basically, when the impulse move has higher volume and a high number of ticks, it has to be the ticks with it, because if there's high volume, so like let's say this volume was 2.3, this one was 916, but the number of ticks was less than 21. So let's say it was like 19 ticks up. That means that there's way too much resistance from the sellers in an attempt for the buyers to move the market. So with this, it's the opposite. You have a high amount of volume plus a high number of ticks. So then when you're looking for the pullback to get into the buy, you want the volume and the number of ticks to be low, and then you just get into the buy. That is something that I have been looking at, because it's very easy to look at, very easy to see it happening, and it's easy to get into the trade. And you should not have to worry about like volume or order flow or anything of the actual reversal bar. It shouldn't matter. So yeah, that is something else that I am testing. But we'll see what happens, because I know how to do it on pullbacks, but I'm not quite sure yet if it works well with divergence, or how to do it with divergence. So yeah, that's something that I am working on. Indicator on TradingView that correlates that. There's one on NinjaTrader as well. The only problem is it doesn't work for Renkos. So like I can't set it to say like, oh, look at an 80 tick Renko chart and tell me if it's, what the momentum or the like structure is on a higher time frame. But there's a couple of indicators on NinjaTrader that does it for like time-based charts and stuff. Let's see, that is... All right, volume is high there. Nope. That might be the case in TradingView as well, probably. See, that's another thing. Like with me trading Renkos, I'm just so limited with my options, which is fine because I don't want to. I mean, the majority of the indicators that I use are just different levels, just seeing where different levels of support and resistance are. So I'm not trying to buy into a big wall of resistance or anything, but yeah, I'm really curious to see if I can transition back to just trading volume. I think it'll work though. I genuinely do think that it's going to end up working out. I just have to I just got to get a little bit of time to be able to put more time into it, which I might do this week once I'm done converting the rest of this data. We'll see. Let's see. So this is a good example of it not working. Well, it working well, where volume and the number of ticks on the down move was great, but in the pullback, you can see there's less volume in this pullback, but there's more ticks in the pullback. That's not a good sign. And you can see that even though we dropped from here, where I would have my stop loss, I would have gotten taken out of the trade because of this wick right here. So yeah, I think the volume might work. I tried to trade volume only a while, probably like a year and some change ago, and I couldn't figure out why. There was some consistencies, but there was also some inconsistencies. And now looking at the efficiency of like paying attention to the number of ticks in the swing, I think was the important factor that I was missing out on. I do think that. I almost forgot my meeting, girl. What is with this news about nursing? Okay, so I heard about it. I seen a big uproar. And I've seen both sides of it from some people that I've seen who've actually read the document. What it sounds like is that the government is making those degrees classified as non-professional in an attempt to, because schools they're charging way too much for these degrees, right? And this is everywhere with any degree, honestly, but they're basically charging like they're charging an amount that you would like be paying for medical school almost sometimes, depending on which professional nursing degree there is. And like, I remember when I first got into nursing school, in order to be a nurse practitioner, you just needed your master's because you're still working under a doctor anyway. Now you need your doctorate. So it's like, by the time you do all that, why you just went to be a doctor? You know what I mean? And to have to do all of that work to be a nurse practitioner just doesn't make sense, to be honest with you. It just doesn't. So yeah, it sounds like they're trying to make the declaration so that the prices for those degrees will go down, the tuition will. Now, I don't know how schools will respond, because I think in order for them to continue to get government funding, they're probably going to have to go down on the price, because the government's not going to give out as much money for government assistance, loans, grants, stuff like that. So I don't know. That's just my interpretation of it based on limited knowledge. I don't know. Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning? So I hope that with them making the declaration that it does go down on the cost of school, because it shouldn't cost that much. Just shouldn't. Paul, how have you been? Good morning. Good morning. I see 20, 22, 20, that's 6. Oh, it's still a 6 tick difference. All right, cool. Tired. I feel that. I definitely feel that. Wouldn't that prohibit people from going into the program? Well, their hope is probably that if they don't take the cost down, that they will have less people enrolling, which would force them to bring the cost down. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see, 34, 501. All right, I'm liking the heavy volume on the sell side. We are inside of where we changed to a downtrend, though. I mean, an uptrend. So I have to remember this. We are at point of control. Yeah, see, that was a nice move down. And if I was trading volume only, I could have taken that one. Yeah, I might really heavily look into it. I think it would be worth it. I do have VWAP right here. Upper deviation band. You took a loaded trailer to the wrong city? Oh my God. Where were you supposed to go, and where did you actually go? Was it like far? That is crazy. The DMV later take her name off this title. Oh Lord. I should have just gave her the car. Thought you should have just gave her the car. Let me go for Paul starts talking about y'all females. Ooh, I was just getting on my friends about the name, the word female. I cannot fucking stand it. Oh, it drives me crazy. It pisses me off so bad. And they probably just think I be bitching about any and everything. But I told them don't use the word female when I'm around, please. Unless you want to get cussed out. Oh, that would be a trade on the reversal. Which one? Oh, this reversal up. It's because we're inside of where we changed to an uptrend, which the volume was really nice here, but I don't because the volume was so heavy on the downswing right there. I don't have anything for that right now. That's the only reason I didn't take it. Now see, volume only, I would have taken this trade right here too, this little swing up, even though it's a 1 bar pullback. So yeah, I might look into that. Because if I can get rid of order flow, baby, I would do it in a heartbeat. You hear me? I'll just have my levels and just trade. Because look, it worked out. Let's see if I can. It worked out here. Downswing is efficient. A lot of volume, a lot of ticks. On the pullback, less volume than here. Less volume than the previous pullback. Less number of ticks. There's only basically 4 ticks versus 48. So it should be a strong trend down, and it went down 50 ticks from there. Let's see, where's the next one that works out well? That one does not. This swing up worked. So I'm listen. I might do it. If I could just figure out like two scenarios where it works well. For pullbacks, 2 that works well for divergence, I will freaking do it. I surely would. 612. Supposed to be super easy night and I messed it up. Oh no. Yeah, I'm like Janelle. At least it was the right state. Wrong place, right state. That means, Paul, you need you a little break, honey. You make mistakes like that. You know what? Since I have to do something with this account anyway, I might. But see, I don't know. Hold on. See, I think it has to be based off of. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try. Hold on, I'm trying to see something. I think I'm about to try this method. I'm about to experiment with this volume only method for the pullbacks. Cause why not? I'm really trying to see if this can work. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do. Should I do A or 0? I think I'm gonna do A. Yeah, let's do it. I am going to. Uh-oh, let's see. It's greater than, less than. Because I need to either hit the daily loss limit or I don't want to necessarily say pass the account, but yeah. Let's just see what happens. Either I'm going to hit the daily loss limit or I'm going to get close to passing or something. So we'll see. We're just going to try it out. Account has to do something by tomorrow anyway. There's a lot of resistance here. Well, shit. And let me do this real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna write down what the stats were for the order flow trade that I took, because I'm gonna actually take the order flow off of this chart. Give me a second to see if it'll prevent some of the data lag that's happening. And I'm gonna take trades, counter trend and trend. We'll just see what happens. Why not? Why not? Wait. Because with me changing the what do you call it? The Renko size earlier, I can't really journal the whole session anyway. So I got into a sell, right? What was the trade I took? Oh, right here. Give me 1 second. If I could save myself the trouble and make this super easy for myself, I will surely do it. All right, so I'm just writing down the stats of the trade real quick. And then what's the trade I just took? Here. All right, let me take the order flow off. Actually, I do want to, all right, I'm lying because I want to keep the volume profile on though. But let's do But I literally only want the volume profile. Take the bar stats off. Summary table off. And then I don't want that anymore. So I'll just do it like this. Good morning, Draper. Draper, how are you this morning? How are you? How are you? Yes, green. Yes. All right. Let's see. $212. All right, yeah, see what I mean? So this was a good downswing, but look how the upswing, it was 212, which is less than 540, but look how it's the same number of ticks going up. That's not good. I mean, it's not as efficient. All right, I do know I don't want to take any buys like pushing into new highs or anything. That's always like a little iffy to me. So I'm not going to do that. But anything else I'm cool with. Let's see. Because I could have taken quite a few trades doing this. It's so weird not having the order flow stuff on the chart. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any other order flow anything anywhere. But yeah, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm probably going to maybe I'll trade to like 10-15-ish. No, I'll probably still stop it. Yeah, maybe like 10-15-ish. Or I might stop at 10 because I do have to go somewhere with my mom and we got to be back by a certain time. But we'll see. But if I can get like one more decent trade in the next 20 minutes, that would be nice. 20-25 minutes. I think I can push it to 10-15. What I just don't know about pushing it that far, knowing that, you know, things start to dry up a little bit, just a tad. And I know I need the, you know, the volatility and stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I also probably... No, yeah, that still worked. That one worked. That one worked. I can't get another trade before the end of the session. I am, what I'll probably do is see if I can find a day that has some pretty decent volatility and one day that didn't have great volatility. And I'll probably just backtest those 2 days. Well, not backtest, but just go and write down the volume and tick efficiency of each trade and see if I can make enough of a correlation to be able to put something together where I can trade just that tomorrow. Would not have a problem with that at all. So like I said, my biggest goal is to find what works for me. I want it to be efficient, and I also want it to be simple. And if I can have like a great edge without having to trade order flow, have no problem with doing that. No problem at all. All right, let's start filling this out. I don't even remember what was my starting balance. Let's see, 5, 1, 3. 6, 5, 4, 5, 2. Maybe I will get off at 10. We're already starting to kind of like slow down quite a bit. It would be nice though to have, we'll put the summary table back on, but I'm gonna take delta and all that stuff off. I really just want the bar duration right now. And seeing the volume is not that bad either. Oh shit. It's so damn small, it's pointless. Never mind. Never mind. Wonder if... No, I can't do that either. Oh, never mind. That was a nice push-up. Let's say 50, 694, 52. Markets are closed Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it is Thanksgiving this week. Next thing, Brazil, it'll be nice to chill. Yeah, I I do know some people will trade on Fridays. I usually don't. If there's a Thursday holiday, which is typically only Thanksgiving, I'll trade Monday through Wednesday and then I'll just be back at it on Monday. So you will not see me on Friday. Did I? Yeah. What I'm hoping is if I can figure out that doing the volume only method is consistent, right? I'm hoping that, so when I write down like trade examples and I write that it takes profit, I will actually, even if it loses, I always write like how many ticks. Well, I actually do the number of bars. But I write how many bars the market goes in that direction before the next reversal bar. Because I'm genuinely hoping that eventually I can get back to a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It actually does drive me crazy that I'm at a negative risk to reward ratio, even though it's only like a difference of 6 ticks. Still too much for me. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping I could fix that. We'll see. We will see. Still up, down, down. Oh, wrong color. I'm about to find my you may take the open drive trade on Friday and that's it. Yeah. I'm about to try to find, y'all know I like asking ChatGPT stuff. So I got this idea about the volume and the ticks matching and, just things like that for the swings, because I was in the process of wanting to see if I could simplify this. And I'm trying to find where it was in my journal so I can tell y'all how long I've been thinking about this. And then I just kind of like gave up on it, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't look further into it, which is crazy because what day does it say? Actually, last Monday is the last time I looked at it, because I was looking at data from November 3rd. And let's see. Yeah, I was looking at it then. So let me see. But when did I write down? Because there was a day that I asked ChatGPT about it. And I just never looked further into it. If this volume can get beyond the 2.7K on the push down, I'll look for a sell. All right, there we go. Now we just need the pullback to be shallow. It's gonna have to be really shallow because there's only 6. Well, this is not 6 ticks, it's 12 ticks since it's 2 tick bars. But we need it to be less than 6 bars on the way up. And then if that happens, I'll look for a sell. Um, all right, found it. So I was first looking at this on October 26th. All right, I also don't want it to be a 1 bar pullback if possible. All right, so nope, too many bars now. God damn. All right, so what it was saying was that when the volume on the swing before the pullback is heavier than the previous swing and the number of ticks matches it, it's basically saying that because that impulse move traveled further and with heavier volume than the previous swing, so in this case, if we're going for a sell, it means sellers were more active and produced more result, which is a classic momentum expansion. It means the trend is accelerating, the sellers are confident in fueling new ground. It's textbook for a healthy continuation profile. And so a lot of times on this swing is going to attract sellers pretty quickly because in the process of pulling back, the sellers were just so healthy on the downtrend that it's going to attract more sellers to continue the trend. Now, if the swing down is high volume but less ticks, it means that the trend impulse is weakening. The sellers are still dominating, but they had to expend way more energy to get a smaller move. So you can expect that the next pullback is going to be deeper or slower since the opposite side is fueling the fire. So a lot of times it might still work out, but you need a stronger reversal candle basically for it to end up working out. Now, if the volume of the swing is low and the number of ticks are low as well, it means that both the effort and the result are declining. So there's fewer sellers that are participating and the swing also didn't go far. So the trend impulse is losing steam. So it's an early symptom of momentum decay. The sellers are less willing or less capable of pushing price further. So you can expect the pullback to be deeper or even transition into divergence. And then the fourth option is when the swing volume is low, but the number of ticks is high. So that actually is momentum efficiency because the sellers are doing more work, like they're gaining more ground with less work, basically. So that's another positive sign. So basically, I have to look at the impulse swing, but I also have to look at the pullback. So the pullbacks are kind of the same a little bit, except it's opposite. So you want the volume to be low and the number of ticks to be low on the pullback. And this one has way too many ticks in the pullback here. Damn it, because I was going to look to sell right there. But yeah, so I looked at this a whole month ago and didn't even put very much thought into it. I was just asking ChatGPT about it. And I don't know why I didn't look further into it, but I probably should have because honestly, so since I switched the chart to the 32 tick chart, which let me see when I did that. So I did that around 8:50, something like that. So let's see. We have, there's one win. Two. The volume's not high enough. Let's see, 3. And that's four wins, 1 loss. Five wins, 6 wins, 7 wins. Oh wait, I just lost my place. God dang it. Oh, here we go. 7 wins. 8, 9, 10, 'So it's been 10 wins and a loss since basically 9 o'clock. Not bad. Interesting. Top Step did get rid of the activation fee. Did they change the prices though? Oh damn, it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to end because I gotta go to the stores. So yeah, I am gonna look into this though. I'm gonna record all the ones since 9 o'clock and then kind of go from there. So I'm gonna journal probably really quick and then head to the stores with my mom. But yeah, don't be surprised if tomorrow I'm not trading order flow and I'm just trying this out exclusively, because I think it's kind of worth it to look into. Anything that can simplify what I'm doing. 50K is $89. That's not bad. I will say that I don't respect the fact that Top Step X or Project X is getting rid of everybody but Top Step. It just further fuels the whole thing of like, everybody has been saying that Michael Patak probably co-owns it, or you know, he has some kind of interest in it. They've been saying that from the beginning because an ex Top Step employee, I think, created Project X. So the fact that they got rid of everyone else, I think is just I don't know. And the pricing is cool, but you're forcing people to trade on a platform that they might not want to trade on. So it's just like whatever. But I hope people are able to milk the hell out of them. If I can use a prop firm on NT, I'm not considering it. Same for me, Diego. Even if I was to completely simplify my strategy and all these things, like I really like trading Renkos. I need my chart trader that enters me automatically at the close of a bar. So there's just like certain things that I just cannot change, or I'm not willing to change. I'll say that. I'm not willing to change it because if I find something that works, why should I have to change something just because you want to be greedy? You just don't want my business, and that's okay. That is a-okay with me. A-okay. All right, I am going to stop here. As much as I want to keep pushing, I do have to get going. So I am going to show you guys what the accounts look like, or what the account look like. So I only took the 2 trades. And I did, what was it? Wrong button, sorry. I did do 2 contracts per trade, which is why it's showing 8 quantity, because, you know, 4 and 4. So yeah, gained what, 657 on the account. I was already at the highest drawdown on the account, so we are now at another high balance on the account. So now I am $1,300 in profit on the account. I'm about $1,700 away from being funded on the account, which is great. Probably going into tomorrow, I will trade the TPT account a little bit as well, especially if I have time to do like a couple of days of back testing this volume only strategy. I'm definitely willing to put it to the test on the TPT account if I can find similarities. Like I know for sure that one volume and tick efficiency type of thing works, but I want to see if I can find at least, like I said, 2 for divergence and 2 for pullbacks and see what happens. So yeah, hopefully we can do a little something with this account. I don't necessarily need to pass it by tomorrow. It would be nice if I could. but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. May consider rhythmic platforms, but I have to change my copy trade so I can trade both. Yeah. For me, I don't think I have any rhythmic accounts left anymore because I used to just have the one that was still left, my old PA with Apex. And honestly, I think if a company doesn't have Trade Evade, I don't even want to trade them. For real. Unless it's just one company that like is a really big standout for me and I really, really want to trade them and they have rhythmic, I'll go ahead and do it since I can't have one rhythmic connection. But aside from that, I just because I do know that you can set some things up to where you can take trades and you can copy trade into Quantower, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Something, but I think it has to be a multiple copiers. I'm not sure. I ain't doing it. Tick got booted by Trade Evade. Ooh, I did not see that. Green Monday, yes, we love green. No, I did not. They violated some rule. You know, Tick has been around for a while, but I definitely see people complain about Tick. So I wonder if it has to do with some of the complaints. Like maybe they have to have like a certain like for instance, let's say you have like a TikTok shop. You can only have so many refunds or so many like violations of certain things before they suspend you. I wonder if it has to do with like customer satisfaction or I don't know. Trying to switch everyone to Project X. But how are they going to do that? I thought that Project X dropped everybody except Top Step. I know that people who have Project X accounts wherever they are, you don't have to switch, but I don't think that you can get new accounts with Project X with other companies, I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know. I definitely could be wrong though. That's very, very interesting. I think that once I kind of get a handle on things, I think that well, obviously I want to get more Apex in Tradeify accounts, but I also think that probably my third, and TPT. Those will be my top 3, but I think the only other company that I'm willing to look at is possibly Lucid. I've been seeing pretty good things about them. I know that they're still kind of new, but they would probably be the 4th company that I would be willing to try. But that's later on down the line because I want to get my first payout and stuff like that first, which I'm pushing for next month. I gave myself 2 years and I'll hit the 2-year mark next month. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Discord, they're definitely worth a good customer service too. Good. I think I had saw that who was it? It might have been 0 Day J. He was basically saying that, you know, he got approved within like a minute and I think it was in his bank account within like another minute or 2 or something like that, which I think is great. I really think that more companies should be using Plaid and, you know, other stuff like that where you can get the payouts way quicker. That would be nice, huh? So change the rules for the better, not worse. Good. No intraday drawdown on Lucid during funded. Ooh, I did not know that. The rules have gotten worse, not better. I agree. And you know, I've spoken up about the things that I don't really like with Tradeify. I think that they started off hot, great, and I want companies to make changes if it means that they are able to stay in business. But sometimes you do have to question. Sometimes you have to question, like, are you making this change because you need to, like, you'll go out of business if you don't, or are you making this change because you're greedy? When I saw that Tradeify was one of the only companies where when you go live, I don't know if it's still like this because I haven't looked that heavy into Tradeify like that for a while. but they were one of the only companies where like going live is like a bad thing. How do I go from a 90-10 split to an 80-20 split to a 70-30 split because of this merit accounts? People with common sense and people who have analytical skills can see that you're being greedy, because for you to say like, oh, you're taking a bigger portion because your split, aka just the amount you're not giving me that I've earned, your split, instead of you keeping it, you're then putting it into another live account for me to help me to build more live accounts. Well, how about I just keep 2 and I keep my 80-20? That should really be 90-10. But how about I just have 2 accounts and I have 5? Because for me, if I have 5 accounts and I'm making money and you're taking a split off of each of those accounts, you're making more money by taking the same amount, the same percentage from 5 accounts versus 2. So for you to be greedy enough to say that, oh, well, now that you have 5 and we've used our portion to fund it, now we're going to take an extra 10% from each of those accounts. That's just greedy to me. And that was a huge turnoff for me. The only reason I even tried Tradify out and eventually became an affiliate is because other people asked me to, and I saw other people having positive experiences with them. But that's just something that just really rubbed me the wrong way. And I also think that because when they came in hitting heavy, I think that they kind of just got a really big head and just almost felt like they were unstoppable and invincible. Well, just like you came in steamrolling, other companies can too, you know? I'm gonna learn to trade. I like that. Tradify changing rules like on the monthly now. Yeah. I like Brett. Not Brett or Brat. Diego. He's not seeing my money. Yeah, a lot of people have not become customers of his because they don't like him, his personality. They didn't like him when he was an influencer. They don't like his cockiness. Some people have never become customers because of him rug pulling. I think some kind of meme coin or so. I don't know. He rug pulled something in the past. So people have their qualms, and I totally understand it. Totally do. Hey, but that was at the very beginning. They started in, let's say, October. I got you. It seemed to go down after February. And I wonder what happened. And I also think it's just funny that when, and everybody knows I'm not, listen, I go where my money flows, right? And I go where I am wanted. And for me, I understand why a lot of people don't like Apex. But at the end of the day, it's one of the only companies that has 20 accounts. And until you get eval banned, go for it, right? But I just think that it's funny that when Apex was one of the first companies to start making different changes and stuff, because obviously they saw things before other people, because people are going to try to exploit them more because you can have 20 accounts versus 3. So when they were making all these changes and stuff, some of these company owners just had a whole lot to say just for them to get hit with those same people when, you know, Apex made whatever changes to try to combat some of that. So people started moving on to other companies. Now, when you get hit with stuff and you're making changes, it's, oh, you know, we have to do this for okay, well, Apex said the same thing and you made it seem like they were committing a crime. That's the one thing I don't like. One thing that I really, really respect about the owner of TPT is he keeps his head down and he does his own thing. He ain't worry about no other companies. He knows what he has. He knows the strengths of his companies. He knows the weakness of his companies, and he just keeps it moving. And I respect that. And I wish other companies would do the same thing, because you never know when your company is going to get hit by what other companies have already gotten hit with. You know what I mean? Shows of Apex. Wait, exactly. And don't get me wrong, Apex has their issues. They do. They definitely have their issues. And I will never ever tell anybody that I support them 100% because I don't. I don't think I would ever support anything 100% because I don't know what goes on in the background. I'm not the CEO. I don't know. But who knows what company owners are doing. But what I will say is, regardless of how trash they are with handling certain things, when you take away that stuff, right? If you have the opportunity, if you are not eval banned and you have the opportunity to get your 20 accounts and get your 40K every two weeks or however much, depending on whatever account size you have, do it. You should be doing that with any company. Once you find your edge and you have gotten the psychological aspect of trading down, make your money. Make your money, take a percentage, put it in a live account, because we don't know what's going to happen with any company in this industry. We don't know what's going to happen with the industry as a whole, but we don't know what's going to happen with any company at any time. So take a portion, put it in a live account, and go about your business. TPT's owner is low-key. Yes, I love it. Yeah, I do like their emails too. I do. I read almost every single one of them, which I don't normally do with any company. Milk them as much as I can while I learn to become firm, independent, and trade my live account. Exactly. And that should be everyone's goal. I think that the opportunity has just really screwed up most people's mindset, because most people only care about being profitable, which I respect. I get it. You see it as a business opportunity. You see it as, I put this much out, I get this much, or I put this much in, I get this much out. And I respect that. However, I also believe that everyone's goal should just be to be profitable and develop an edge, period. Because having to rely on the leverage of so many accounts can be a detriment long term. Well, maybe not long term, but at least in the short term. When you see people who have 30 plus accounts and they've made, let's say, 200,000 this year, but they've spent $75,000 on accounts, like, what? I cannot fathom. I just can't. Now, from a business perspective, hey, you got out more than what you put in. But I just feel like psychologically, I don't think people realize how much that really puts on them, because that's a lot of accounts to fail to spend that much money on accounts. That's a lot. I don't know. Trade skills with props and take those gains to fund your own. Exactly, Janelle. I 100% agree. What are y'all cooking for Thanksgiving? What you cooking? Trading for Diego. Yeah, exactly. So I'll tell you what we're having. We are not traditional at all, because most of the younger people don't really care for soul food like that. I've not liked soul food since I was a kid, because I'm like, why every time we go to my great grandma's house, I get the itis when I eat. I don't like that. So my grandma's making turkey and dressing, but I'm probably also going to make a duck, because remember last year my mom and my grandma were out of town visiting my uncle on Thanksgiving. So I was here by myself. So I actually made duck and dressing, and let me tell y'all, duck and dressing will always trump turkey and dressing all day, every day. Okay. But anyway, so I made duck and dressing. So I'm just going to make duck this year. I'm just going to pressure cook it, and yeah, it's going to turn out amazing. Probably put it in the pressure cooker for like 2 hours, and that'll be that. I'm also going to make like a sweet potato casserole. It's not really. It's just going to be like a whipped mashed sweet potato with, cinnamon, butter, whatever, and then put marshmallows on top. My grandma's going to make traditional yams. Okay, now this is where the menu gets a little crazy. We will have cranberry sauce, but so my auntie don't know how to cook like that, but we love her rotel. So we're going to have rotel probably as a little snackety snack before we actually start eating dinner. Okay. Then 2 years ago, or maybe it was the last 2 years on Christmas, my sister's boyfriend made these they call them Philly rolls, but he doesn't use like the shaved Philly meat. He just uses hamburger meat. So I would say it's more like a cheeseburger roll because he'll put like pickles in there and I think onions, a little bit of cheese, whatever. He makes this burger sauce. Fire. So because last year Christmas, my auntie didn't get any, because I ain't gonna lie, I had like 4, maybe 5. They were really good. She was like, well, can you make those egg rolls? Because I ain't getting none last year. So he's making egg rolls. My cousin might be making mustacholi. No, he's not, because my sister's gonna make macaroni. And that's probably gonna be it. We don't really eat pork like that. Well, I don't eat pork at all, but we've kind of gotten out of like buying ham and stuff like that. Just first of all, it's expensive as hell. But also because if we have turkey and we have duck, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Now, I have seen that people have already made their Thanksgiving dinner in the last 2 weeks and have it frozen. No, ma'am. Oh, see you, Diego. See you. Janelle never cooks, only eat and wash dishes, period. You think you're making duck too? You got one from Costco? You usually make roasted chicken. So I usually get my duck from Aldi, or we have a local grocery store called Schnucks. I'll usually get it from one of those two. I'm probably gonna go to Aldi to see if they have it. Because I think last year when I went to Aldi, I was too late. Like it was like the day before Thanksgiving and they were out. So I had to go somewhere else. I don't remember where. But I'm going to have to figure it out because I need to get a duck today. Muslim Bros are open till 4 a.m. on Thanksgiving. Period. Yes, rotel dip, girl. I told you, not traditional at all. Sweet potato in every way. Mashed, fried. With Velveeta. I didn't know about that stuff until I started working. It's so weird. Yes, Rotel, you use Velveeta cheese. And then there's like cans of Rotel, like the diced tomatoes with chilies and stuff like that. And you just mix it up, put your ground beef in there. But you have to make sure that you don't make it too thick or too thin. Last year, y'all had a seafood boil? You make sweet potato pancakes and waffles. I'm like you guys, I can do sweet potato anything, for real. And if a menu has sweet potato fries, I will always take that over regular fries. All day, every day. Sure will. The last time, now I did do a seafood boil for myself like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. My mom was not happy because she was not here. She was out in the streets with my auntie all day. And by the time she walked in the door, I had just licked my fingers clean, okay? She was like, you ain't make me none. Shit, I know you want none. Should have told me. I'd made you some. But I love a good seafood boil. I'm not going to lie. What time is it? 10:20. Okay, I've been sitting here talking to y'all for too long. I got to get myself ready so I can go to the store. But yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, tomorrow I might be trading volume only. I'll let y'all know as soon as we get on the stream. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in after my long ass break. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.